Hello everybody, this is a first video in a new playlist that I am now calling the Dollar Save Club. It's not the Dollar Shave Club, that's different. This is the Dollar Save Club. You don't have to do anything to join the club, although if you want to join my Patreon, that would be really fantastic. This playlist, the purpose of this playlist is essentially to show that there is no real difference between a really pricey product and one that's a little bit cheaper. Indeed, products that are within the same family, I mean by the same manufacturer, one priced low, the other priced high, there's not much difference in sound quality, if any. Indeed, you might be better off buying the cheaper one and just save yourself a whole lot of money and basically a lot less frustration too when we go along with it. So, today's inaugural video of the Dollar Save Club playlist is going to be the comparison between the Monolith THX Portable and the Monolith THX Desktop. And I've got a multi-camera setup here. I have my DJI GoPro thingy here, right here, you're it. Then I also have my Canon camera right here. There you are. And I also have my desktop being screenshot. It's being captured. So that we're looking at currently the AIMP application, which is totally free, by the way. If you're looking for an application to run your FLAC files and you're confused by foobar, most people will be, and you don't want to spend more money and buy Audirvana, which is about 80 bucks, then AIMP is totally free, gives you what you need to do, and it's a very stable program as far as I've used it. I've used it for about 3 months now. So we're going to use high-res files here, all FLAC, no Spotify today, and our test headphone is going to be one of my favorite, especially for detail retrieval. It's going to be the Sennheiser HD800S. These are 300 ohm headphones, amazing headphones. And so the whole purpose here is to give everybody a kind of a baseline explanation that, and this is my premise. I'm just going to tell you right now what my ultimate conclusion is going to be at the end of this video. That the portable is as good as the desktop, and you really don't need to get the desktop. Now, there are some features that the desktop has. We'll talk about that all in a second follow-up video, but in this video, let's just talk about these two's sound signature. So the desktop is already plugged in, so is this. This is also, by the way, the portable. Let me pull this down so you can actually see it. The portable is also getting USB power right now, as well as USB data connection. So it's not going to die on me, and it's getting stable power. I'm going to put on the HD800S, and the first test that we're going to do is going to be on the THX Desktop. Let me just have a seat here so I don't fall over. And the song that we're going to go with first, as you should probably know, is with Hans Zimmer. If I can find it, Interstellar, where are you? There we are, Interstellar. And we're going to start with Mountains. Here we are. Ready? Here we go. I'm going to increase the volume. This is currently a negative 28. I'm going to increase the volume to negative 15. And soundstage for days is what I've said many times before about the HD800S. That remains true to this day. These headphones are simply amazing. There's no distortion, there's no harshness, there's no peakiness, there's no treble ear pierciness, at least not for me. Some people might still experience it. I think the 800S are fantastic headphones. So, on this song, I hear soundstage. It just sounds wide. And sometimes what happens is when you have wide soundstage, when you take that soundstage and you stretch it out, sometimes the sound just sounds thinner, right? The frequency range just sounds thinner. That's what fake soundstage does, like the direct sensor round that Monolith uses in both on the portable as well as on the desktop. It's just the way they are. Let's skip ahead to halfway so that we can get to the crescendo. And I'm going to increase the volume to a point where it's very loud for me, louder than I would ever listen. We're at negative 5 decibels. Negative 2.5 is extremely loud. Excellent separation. That bass thunders coming through without being overbearing. Clear, detailed separation of each and every single instrument. It's one of the most bass experience you can possibly have with any pair of headphones. Crystal clear sound, no harshness, no treble peakiness. Simply brilliant. Let me bring this back down to negative 21 decibels. And so when we were at that decibel reading, right, negative 2 or whatever it was, now I forget, I have to go back to the video, very, very loud. Now, let's switch to the portable. And what we're going to do is we're going to plug in our 1/4 inch to 3.5 millimeter adapter that I keep around. And we're just going to plug that into, there we go. And we're going to switch on my Windows computer to the portable, if I can find it. Here we are, portable. Now we're switched to it. We're going to go back on this song, and I'm going to make sure that my volume level is fairly high. I'm going to start off with about negative 22 decibels, okay? Negative 20, negative 22 decibels. And here we go. I was playing the wrong song. The start is basically the same. The volume difference is a little bit, obviously. I think that at negative 20 decibels, it's not quite as loud as it was about negative 20 or so on the desktop. So I'm going to increase the volume until I can get it to where I think it was originally. Right there. That's very close. Negative 14 decibels. Clean, clear. I can still hear the that rumbly nature to the bass. Seems to have just about the same sound signature. I'm going to increase the volume again. We're going to go to negative 8. Still absolutely crystal clear. No noise, no distortion. Let's skip halfway into the song so we get to the crescendo. And I'm going to crank up the volume to where it's very loud. Plus 3.5 is basically what negative 2.5 was on the desktop. It's very loud for me. That thunder sounds exactly the same on the portable as it did on the desktop. Clear separation of each and every instrument. Yeah, it's amazing that the portable can reproduce the same type of thunderous sound, the rolling thunder, that the desktop can. Incredibly loud, very detailed, no harshness. That treble frequency is very well controlled. And let's bring this back down. And so what I hear from this comparison is that they sound exactly the same to me. I hear no difference whatsoever. None. The bass sounded exactly the same thunderous rolling bass. The treble frequency sounded identical to me. The separation, I think, is about the same. There might be slightly, just ever so teeny tiny bit more separation on the THX desktop, but I may have missed something. I'm willing to say that there is probably just a little bit more definition out of the desktop, but not a whole lot. Not that I could find, especially in that crescendo when everything just jumps right in. All of the music is playing at the same time. All the instruments are playing at the same time. And you can hear the differentiation amongst all of them, all instruments, on both devices. Moreover, these 300 ohm, really excellent headphones, once again I might say, are driven by both of these devices. Now yes, there's more power on the desktop, there's no doubt about it. Okay, I think I was at negative 2.5 decibels where I said I cannot listen to this any louder. This is my threshold. And I was about plus 3 or so on the portable, but it still pushed the headphones to the exact same threshold of that my personal threshold. Both of these devices did. And so now you don't have the excuse to say, well, the portable simply cannot drive headphones like 300 ohm, headphones like the HD 800S. Of course they can. Indeed, they drive it just as well as the desktop. But let us assume that you're not completely convinced yet, in which case, let's go to another song. Let's go to a more vocal-centric song. Go to Orla Gartland, if I can find her. Where are you, Orla? Orla. And she was here and I'm sure that I'm missing something, and I don't know what I'm missing. I want to cut this part out so that, there it is, there's Orla. For some reason, missed it. So here's Orla Gartland, and we're going to go to Why Am I Like This? Okay, we're going to start playing Why Am I Like This. Here we go. We're going to do it on the portable first, because we have that hooked up. Here we go. We're negative 20 decibels. I'm going to increase to negative 14. Crystal clear sound, just amazingly clear and precise. You can hear the transients of that guitar. It's not lingering, it's very fast. Her voice, crystal clear, no harshness, no peakiness. Even the peakiness of her voice, because she has some treble energy, well controlled, not ear piercing at this point. There's no graininess, just a raw nature to her voice. Just, you can hear the slight perturbations in her voice as she's singing, just tiny ups and downs, the gyrations. So it's not a smooth vocality, it's just, you can hear the bumps, the tiny perturbations. I'm going to increase the volume. Negative 7. It's as loud as I want to listen to this song. Her voice comes out very naturally, in the sense that there's no harshness to it, no distortion, no peakiness, no harshness. There's nothing here that I would say is distracting from the song. And everything is absolutely clean and clear. Okay, so let's stop. I'm going to take this out, plug it back into the desktop. Switch in Windows. Okay, and we're going to restart this song. Here we go. Oops. And I'm going to increase the volume to where I think it was about negative 20, negative 15, 14 decibels for the portable. That's about there, 19, 18 and a half. Absolutely, it sounds basically the same to me. I'm going to increase the volume again. Negative 14. That's probably as loud as I would listen on the desktop. No distortion. No harshness. Those perturbations in her voice, they're I think about the same as on the portable. I hear no difference at all. No harshness, no peaky treble nature. Absolutely crystal clear. The transients of the guitar, very fast. The same, I would say, as on the portable. Yeah, I hear no difference. So the tonality for her sounds exactly the same on both. So her voice sounds exactly the same on both devices. The tonality of the guitar sounds exactly the same on both devices. The clarity sounds exactly the same on both devices. Now, yes, there might be some minor differences here and there if you look on the numbers, right? On a piece of paper, if you look at the specifications, you might say, well, the desktop has less distortion than the portable. I don't know if that's really the case, but you could say that. But the point of the matter is that you will never be able to tell the difference when you're talking about 0.00 some, whatever it is. When it's 0.008 and 0.007, that's a difference you will never be able to tell, ever. Even, I would submit, a difference between 0.10 and 0.05 is going to be incredibly hard for you to be able to tell. Maybe you can, maybe you can't, but when you're getting into double, triple digits, it becomes harder and harder and harder, and it becomes silly to even talk about it at that point. But with respect to these two, they sound exactly the same on these songs. Okay, so now let's move on, and we're going to try a different track. we're going to go to John Wick 2. John Wick 2. And we're going to listen to, let's say, Guns and Turtlenecks, which is the last song on my playlist. And we're going to start at negative 20 decibels on the desktop. Here we go. You can hear those string instruments with the treble energy. You got that synth stuff and the electric guitar and the snare drum. Is it a snare drum? I don't know what it is. It's a drum of some sort. Increase again. Distortion free. And right now I'm listening for the electric guitar as well as the bass to try to interpret if there's any sort of melding of the frequency. It sounds very clean. Excellent soundstage. Almost like my entire head is surrounded by the music. Okay, so let's stop, take it back. Let's switch to the portable. Okay, we got the portable. Got this ready. And let's play again on the portable. We're going to start at negative 20 decibels. Here we go. Increase the volume to negative 15. I'm going to increase again to negative 10. The bass sounds the same to me as it did on the desktop. The electric guitar has the same tonality and decay. I'm going to increase the volume to negative 5. Same amount of separation. Sound stage is the same, as far as I can tell. Details the same. Excellent separation of all the instruments. Okay, so even with this song, we have all the, synth type music, electric guitar, the bass, and all that sort of stuff. Very fast transients on everything with both devices. No difference that I could tell whatsoever. No distortion, no harshness, nothing. It just sounds crystal clean and clear in both. Now, as I sit here, I have nothing playing. I hear no distortion at all. I hear no noise. I hear nothing. Dead silent other than my voice. Now I'm going to switch to the desktop. Oops, sorry about that. Same thing. I hear nothing. So whatever minor differences there might be in the THD plus N or whatever you want to talk about, it's totally irrelevant. I can't hear a single thing. No difference in noise between them at all. So that really begs the question. If both devices perform very similarly to each other, if not exactly the same, is there any difference whatsoever that is of any merit? Well, the desktop does have the balanced out, but we'll talk about balanced out in a later video. And if you don't really need a balanced out, who cares? We've already done a comparison between the portable and the desktop with respect to the sense around, and so I'm not going to repeat that test because they both do the same exact thing, which is they flatten out, stretch out the frequency range, and it just sounds more lean. It doesn't have the same amount of detail anymore in both, and so it's not something that I would recommend anybody actually use because it simply distorts the sound, in my opinion, and it doesn't help at all. It adds a little bit of, quote unquote fake soundstage, but it doesn't really help with enjoying the music. At least I don't think it does. Okay, so this was the first video in the Dollar Save Club new playlist. And the purpose here on this test, I hope that you have been able to tell, is that with these two devices, They both do the same exact thing. These two are essentially exactly the same. But one is about $250, the other one is about $500. Now you get to choose whichever one you want. If you need that extra power, then okay, you have the desktop. But now we know for a fact that the portable does in fact drive 300 ohm headphones like the HD800S. And because the HD800S is a type of headphone that really does bring out all the details of a track, if it was being underpowered, I would be able to tell. And it should be fairly easy for me to tell, especially between a portable and a desktop comparison. But I heard no difference whatsoever. Consequently, I submit to you, at least in this video, in a follow-up video, we'll talk a little bit more about some of the things that are pros and cons of both things here, both devices. If you're considering buying an upgrade desktop replacement, you can get this. You can get this thing here, the portable, and you will get a desktop replacement and you will have a portable option. It's totally up to you. Now you can take this thing on the road, you can hook it up to your laptop, you can bring it home, hook it up to your desktop, and you can use it just like a desktop amplifier that gives you the exact same type of clean sound, no distortion, no audible distortion, let's be honest, in the same type of sound signature as the desktop. Indeed, I would submit I hear zero difference. If there is a difference, it is so minor that I can't pick it up, and my headphones don't make it obvious. And by the way, those headphones, might I remind you, are the 800S. So, if you have been considering an upgrade, hey, don't knock the portable. The portable, in my opinion, is as good as the desktop. I hope that this has been of some help. I hope this has been somewhat instructive. Maybe it'll open up minds and help you reconsider whether you should disregard portable units because they're not desktop units. Well, you may not really need a desktop unit. If you enjoy this content, if you like what I do, then hey, maybe you'll consider becoming a patron. I found out today I've received 2 new patrons. I've gotten 2 new patrons, and that's so fantastic. Thank you so much to both of these 2 new patrons. Thank you so much to all my prior patrons. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's because of you people that I keep doing this. Because I feel empowered to keep pushing and keep doing these types of reviews. Because I know that all of you, not just my patrons, but all my viewers and my subscribers, you enjoy this content and you are hungry for it, and you really do want to know the details. Not just some cursory review, so-called, by other people, but you want to get into the nitty-gritty and know whether or not something is actually worth your hard-earned money. So, if you would like to join my growing family of patrons, then please do consider joining me on Patreon. Just a couple of bucks a month, $2 a month would go a long way to helping me save up money every month so that I can eventually buy newer products to review for you. If you are a regular viewer but you haven't subscribed yet, hey, maybe consider subscribing. We are over 560 now, and that's fantastic. Maybe we'll get to 600 before the end of the year, and with your help, I bet that can happen. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them in the comment section below. If you want me to review a product I currently own, hey, there is actually a review request form in the description section below. Go ahead and click on that, submit your request, and I'll get to it as soon as I possibly can. I hope all of you have a wonderful, amazing, great weekend, and I will talk to you soon. Please do take care.